Welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I am your nerderator, Dustin House, spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. You'll find me nerding out with industry folks and legends on LinkedIn Live every Tuesday and Thursday, and anywhere you get your podcast. So please consider subscribing. My nerd guest today is Rick McGinnis, and over at Bearcat Media. Thanks for joining me, Rick, and welcome to the Nerdatorium.
Thanks, Justin. Like I said earlier, I've been following this for a while, and it's good to finally be on and talk.
Awesome. Love to hear that. I need a little bit more chatter from you in the chats. And speaking of that, anybody who's over in the chats and watching this live, come on in. Say something nice. Say something mean. I don't care. Say something to us. Me and Rick want to take on any questions you have about affiliate marketing. But without further ado, Rick, who are you?
Oh boy, that's a deep question. So I'm an affiliate marketing veteran, but beyond that, I have a family that we live in New Jersey. I've been here my whole life. I have two daughters, 12 and 9. Been married. This is 14 years in October, and affiliate marketing really wasn't even on my radar until like 2011, 2012 when I got laid off. And then I was desperate. And then I squirmed my way into affiliate marketing because I was desperate. I needed money. That's basically what it is. I had a kid and a baby, and the wife was not exactly thrilled. So I had to figure out how I was going to support the family, because I didn't want to go back to being a pharmaceutical rep because it wasn't treating me well.
That's a tough industry. I mean, but I'm sure that gave you a lot of grit on, the sales development portion of that. Probably gave you a lot of experience that was helpful today.
Yeah, no, it was a good experience for the long time it lasted. It was like 3 or 4 years, and I had a company car, and that sucked getting that taken away and having to buy a car. but overall, it was a good experience. But what you talk about sales and like developing the sales chops. It was actually my first job out of college. I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. That was, I didn't like a minute of it, but it was a good experience in terms of like sales and dealing with people and that type of thing. So yeah, it was. But if anyone ever asked me if you want to work at Enterprise, I say no, don't do it. That's the first thing I ever say.
You need a little grit in your life, especially early on, to get an experience of what you don't want to do in life, right? Like, you need that customer experience. You got to be a server, or you got to be something like me. I was a poker dealer, right? And I knew I needed to change my life and get out of that industry. The money was good, sure, but like, at least I got a taste of what the service industry is like. So I treat people much better in the world because of it. And you being in that service definitely helped in what you're doing today, I would assume.
Oh, it does. And honestly, I think a lot. I'm like, why would I stay in this industry if I was like treated the way I was? But I affiliate marketing aside, I love clients and helping them grow their affiliate program. But the way that the service industry treated me the first few years out of college, I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you staying? It's one of those things where it's something and you gravitate to, and you figure out you're good at it, even though you don't like it, but you find something in that niche that you're good at and you like, and then here I am today.
Yeah, beautiful. I've done probably 20 of these episodes at this point, and you are the first person to say, hey, I'm Rick, and I'm a family man. I've got a couple of kids. Like, that was the first thing that came out of your mouth. Like, everybody else is like strictly focused, like, this is my industry. It's kind of a European way of thinking. Like, I've always admired that from the people across the pond. Like, they're always focused first on what their life is. It doesn't define them as a person. Their career, it comes secondary. And I like that kind of message that you've got going on there.
Yeah. So my wife works full time. She's a director of nursing. so she works long, crazy hours.
Yeah.
So I basically have two full-time jobs. I run my business,
Yeah.
and I take care of my kids as well. Like when my wife's not home, so I'm taking them to school in the morning, picking them up from school, taking them to appointments, going to practices and games and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I have like two full-time jobs, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love it, and my kids come first before anything. Like if a client needs something and it interferes with, if a client wants to meet with me and that collides with my kids' events or anything like that, my kids go first. We'll figure out the client meeting later. So I never put my family second to anything.
Beautiful. Love it. And that's the same life I'm living. You know, my wife's working for Impact, and she's gotten a demanding job over there and doing incredible work over at Impact. But you know, most of the dadding stuff, pickups, drop-offs, sports, a lot of it's going on me, and feel you. I'm in that same boat. Well, if we want to learn more about Rick, I'm going to drop a link in the chat profile so that you guys can go and see that. Looks like we got some guests here already. Kristen Evans, so excited for Rick's insights. Beautiful. Thanks, big time. Really appreciate you being here and joining in. Hey, everybody, it's Patty.
Is that Patty McGill?
Oh, you know it. My first all-time guest on this podcast, and he's been great. Good to see you too, Masters, on the stream. Thanks, Patty. Thanks for being here, buddy. All right, so getting into it. Bearcat Media. This is your company. Tell me about how this name got started, first of all.
It was founded back in 2011 when I was like I guess technically like 1099ing it with working. So I needed just a business so I can write off expenses, things like that. And I was trying to think of a cool name, but a lot of the cool names were taken. So I was trying to figure out cool animal names, and Bearcat was one of them. And I looked up what a Bearcat was. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's a weird, like, it's kind of like a Wolverine in a way. It's that size. It's like it's not what you think it is. It's not like a hybrid of a bear and a cat. It looks like a Wolverine in a way. It's like has a little mean streak to it. And I'm like, oh, that's a cool name, Bearcat. And then we put media on the end. There we go. And there's my LLC. Ever since, everyone asks me when they meet me, they're like, did you go to the University of Cincinnati?
Oh.
And no, I did not. I went to a small school in New Jersey, but yeah, it's one of those things where it was no real intent behind it, just trying to find a cool name.
Just out of necessity, like let's get the tax purposes, got the name, and it's stuck. Like that's pretty impressive that it's stuck around all this time.
Yeah, and my wife always asks me. She's like, first of all, she has no idea what I even do. Not a clue. Like I can talk to her all day. She would just be like, whatever. Just do you make money? I'm like, yeah. She's like, good. That's all I. But she's like, what does your name mean? I'm like, nothing. Like just what I explained to you. That's what I tell everyone. It's just a random name. So it's one of those things where I wish I had a cooler story behind it, but it is what it is.
I think it's even cooler that's your story. I enjoy it. Like the story of why Affiliate Nerd Out exists is it's kind of a long-winded one, but like my sisters were nerds. They were valedictorians at their school in high school, and they were nerds, but it was a badge of honor. And that's why Affiliate Nerd Out came about, because I like being an affiliate nerd, and that's why we're here and talking industry stuff. So tell me more about Bearcat, and like, who are you servicing over there?
We used to service just about anyone that had an affiliate program, but now we're more niching down a little bit more as we figure out as we go along. But we're now into a lot of the outdoor firearm space. That's where we tend to land more of now, is like just when you think of Avant Link and the brands that are Avant Link, like camping, hiking, fishing, firearm accessories, like tactical, that type of thing. That's kind of where we're at right now, primarily. But we do have health and wellness and fitness. But but that's secondary to the outdoor space.
Gotcha. And I think that's a natural progression. Like when you take that leap into the agency life, you're going to take on basically any client you can who's going to pay your bills, and then you kind of fall into this nice vertical. For me, it's SaaS companies, right? Like not a lot of people are servicing SaaS, and I jumped into it and have a lot of experience with it, and that's my database of affiliates. And so you're in that firearm space is a little bit difficult. Don't you have some uh like I can't imagine it's easy for like media buyers to be out there buying stuff for firearms and trying to buy Google ads for that. That's got to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it is more challenging than others. Um, we don't deal with brands that sell firearms directly to guns. We deal
Okay.
with most of the accessories, which is a little bit different because those companies that sell the firearms, like the actual firearms, can't have like Shopify stores and things like that. They're just not allowed.
Hmm.
So we primarily partner with a lot of the content producers in that space, and there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
The space is filled with content producers, whether it be written, video, um, social. Just to put it in perspective, this one person that we deal with, they live in Texas, and we sent them samples. And I just did a quick lookup of their house. They live in a $4 million house, and all they do is have a blog on firearms and accessories. And I'm like, good lord! I'm like, it must be nice. Like I'm doing something wrong here.
Oh man, I love going down those rabbit holes and accidentally like digging too deep on a partner, right? And like even looking up their address is hilarious because I
Well,
do
no,
it.
I had their address from a sample I sent them for a product.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
out there, dug deep. They actually sent me their address, and I'm like, let me see. Like, I don't want to give away the town, but it's in Texas, and I'm like, good. I'm like, wow. I'm like, good for them though. I'm like, it's like
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's you think that the industry is so restrictive, and
yeah.
but they've made a name for themselves, and they're doing really well.
Dude, that industry, that conservative market, once you build that trust with them, it is really, they are really influential. Like over at IP Vanish, we targeted some conservative markets and influencers, and they absolutely slayed it because, IP Vanish is helping keep your privacy. And I did the same over at True Finders, like going after that market was really valuable. And the influencers are super valuable in that space as well. So
Their audiences are so loyal.
very, very true. Awesome. So you got into that agency life. I want to take a step back though, and like let's talk about your grind all the way until you started your own agency. So what was your first roles in this affiliate realm, and then like your progression into all the way where you started your own agency?
So it started back when I told you I got laid off as the pharmaceutical rep. I had to. I just. My daughter was just born. Like, if she wasn't born yet, she was just born. So it was like brand new, and I was
Yeah.
looking for work, and I was looking online on how to make money online. This is back in 2011, 2012. So it's not what it is today. And I came across affiliate marketing, and I saw how people were building websites on certain products and sending traffic to it and linking to Amazon products and making money that way. So I'm like, well, let's try that. So I spent a couple $100 to get a website built,
Hmm.
and the product I picked was baby strollers, which was perfect. So I got a couple of strollers, reviewed them, put them on there, did written and video reviews, put them on there, made a few bucks,
Okay.
enough to survive. And then I'm like, I'm not really digging this. I want to see what it's like on the other side of like working on an affiliate program. And I looked up how to do that, and
Hmm.
I came across like companies that manage affiliate programs, which were agencies.
Hmm.
And I just started cold calling agency owners and people that worked at agencies just to see what I could do to get in there. I had no experience really, so I
Yeah.
was doing it, and I reached out to Jen Myers, and she gave me my first shot, and
Beautiful.
yeah, it was good. I had a good time there. She taught me a lot. Then I moved on to Gino, working for Gino Prusakov. I worked with him for like 6 years, and it was a great experience. I learned majority of what I know now from Gino, and how to run affiliate programs and things like that, and how to talk to customers and how to talk to affiliates. So I'd be lying to say if Gino wasn't a big influence in my career, because he was. And the only issue I saw with that is like I saw what I was getting paid versus what the contracts were,
Yep.
and it really didn't sit well with me.
Doing
So,
all the work, right?
right, I was doing a lot of the work and not getting what I probably should have been. So then I decided to just cut that out and do it myself. And here we are.
Yeah, great story and two industry legends. I love Jen to death, and Gino's such an incredible inspiration for like that's why I created my own online course to teach affiliate management. Is I saw what Gino was doing with AM Days and how it was a lead generation for his agency and what he's doing there. It's super smart, and he was a navigator before that in this industry. Jen, if you're watching, I want you on. So I'm gonna hit you up after this episode. But very interesting journey. So you left Gino and you took on your first client. Like, what was that transition of like? How'd you take that leap to go and do this on your own?
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't exactly like glorious, to be honest. It was scary because it was. I decided to go on my own right near the end of 2019. In 2020, in the beginning of 2020, we all know what happened there. So I just went on my own, just was cold calling brands to see if I can manage an affiliate program. And I was at the point where I was doing it for performance only at that time, just like just get in the door and get my name out there. And then the pandemic hit, and then I'm like, oh boy, I'm like, this is not good. I thankfully got some retainers at that point, but it was tough slaying for the first like 12, 16 months. It was pretty rough, and from there, like in 2021, when I really started hitting my stride, and I don't do any more performance only deals. I don't do that. It's just it's not worth it. Sorry to anybody who does do it. It's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been on a solid growth trajectory ever since, and I'm doing really well with what I'm doing now. And but at the beginning it was very scary, and it was the unknown. And I give my wife a lot of credit for putting up with it, because when I first started, I had no money, and then I was putting everything on the line and she had to support everything, and it was tough for her, and like I give her a lot of credit, and I thank her all the time for it. But thankfully now I'm the breadwinner, so she can quit if she wants, but she just loves what she does, so she's sticking it out because she likes doing nursing. But I tell her every day, I'm like, you can quit. I'm like, I don't care.
I hope I can get to a point in my career where I can tell Sarah to quit. I know it's coming. It's one of those things like we're getting there, but we're not there yet, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, trust me, it was one of my longtime goals to get her to quit, and she's I don't know, she just likes to work. I told her, I'm like, if you don't want to quit, just cut down. I'm like, just work when you want to work. I'm like, please. I'm like, but whatever. It's like I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing, and she can tell me 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now that she wants to quit, and I'll be fine with it.
Beautiful. All right, we've got Jen, another Jen lover over here in Kristen Big Time Evans, and then we've got Todd Wiseman, former guest on this. I told him to hit the chats, and look at him go. Way to go, Todd. Thank you. Hi, Rick and Dustin. In a specific niche like you're currently specialized in, what do you find has been more responsive? New producing affiliates or getting more traction with older affiliates? Great question, Todd. Thanks for jumping in, bud.
Yeah, I got a follow-up question to that, but it's essentially we have relationships with a lot of these big outdoor tactical affiliates already, and have for a few years now.
Yeah.
So we onboard new programs, and the first thing we do is go to the big guys, say, hey, we have this program, we can do this for you. They jump in. So it helps that we have a database of older affiliates that we can go back to and just plug in right away.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always new ones popping up immediately, like all the time. And we have we like to think that we have a special way of communicating with these people to get them to join. And offering free stuff is always good, but the way we go about approaching these people is different than many other agencies out there, where it's not just a cookie cutter template kind of thing. It's more of like personal, and we actually go through what they do and try and see what we can do specifically with them versus just a blanket program.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, that's why we have databases, and that's why we're bringing on clients. We're trying to get new ones on, but absolutely, if you have the full program management solution in place, I think it's super important to get as much data as you possibly can about the existing program. Checking out conversion rates of the existing partners and average order value. Super important to see. Like, you might have some hidden gems that you really need to tune it up with and do whatever you can because their audience is hot. So great question, Todd. The right mix is a little bit of both, but like if you don't start recruiting immediately, you're going to look bad. I think it's the bottom line.
It's true. Yeah, you always gotta be recruiting. That's my philosophy. It's one of those things where we're constantly on the lookout for new partners, and whether we're contracted to do it or not. Like we most of our contracts, we have like a certain number of affiliates we reach out to each month, and we always exceed that number just because we don't want to miss opportunities.
Beautiful. Great point. And that brings me up to the sponsor of the day. Oh, who should it be? I think it should be Performance Marketing Manager, my online course that teaches you how to recruit affiliates the right way and all the templates that you could ever want to come and join an affiliate program. Go check it out today. Let's turn on the affiliate best practices here. Like, any tools and anything that you're using right now that you're really liking in the industry that's helping you do more recruitment?
What tool that we've been using? It's not like a recruiting tool or anything, but it's more of like a CRM, and it's called Copper, and it's a CRM that integrates with Google really well. So we have email boxes for all of our clients, and
Okay.
it just you click a button and it just automatically sends all your email conversations to the correct place, and so that and then you can do a pipeline of where you are in the conversations with each affiliate. Are you just starting the communication? Are you negotiating with them? Do you want to do a placement with them, or they want sponsored content, samples? Have they joined? So you can put them through the whole process there. And that's what it makes it so simple to go back and just see where we're at with all these different prospects, because spreadsheets are cool and all, but it just gets messy, and having this little CRM is good. And I think I paid $21 a month or something for it. It's really
wow.
cool. Yeah.
Wow. That's good value. I'm specifically for my agency life, I like using Go High Level, which I'm a big fan of. They do all the things and they do them all really well. And that's a $300 price point a month, but it's helping me do my course and keeping me organized with all of my database of affiliates, which is really helpful. So I like how you're segmenting into different clients. It is really hard to juggle 10 inboxes and like keep opening up tabs to that Gmail. That can be frustrating, and having a one smart hub is super important for your organization skills.
Well, I also I don't do a lot of the work myself anymore.
Sure.
I'm still involved heavily, but I rely on a team. But I have a team of VAs that do all that, like moving from inbox to CRM, and it's been phenomenal how efficient it's become.
A very good point. Tell me about that journey. Do you have employees, or is this you doing the consulting, doing the top of the strategy early on, and then handing this off to a lot of virtual assistants that you have?
Well, I don't have employees. I've cut the contractors, which is that's a lot of
Okay.
agencies go that route with the contractor model. Um, but I have contractors that do account management, um, and I have a couple strategists that I have that do this strategy that we work together. So when we have clients, for example, we have a client come on board, we have a strategy session, we go over that, and I throw my 2 cents in, and they come up with a strategy. Then it gets filtered down to account managers, and then from there, VAs are involved in the account
Mhm.
management. So I have a whole system of how this works, um, but yeah, there's I have no actual employees, W-2 employees at all.
Smart. I think that's one of the key factors to scaling, especially early on, and it can be uh, one of the strategies that you can keep forever too. I've always said like I've never want to actually employ uh, actual people in this industry. Like it's just it's a lot of headache. It's a lot of effort. But virtual assistants have made my life so much easier. And let's talk about like the training purposes. What are you using out there to train these VAs when you bring them on and need to expand the agency?
Yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into like what it is because I don't want everyone just to start doing it. But I have my whole business is systematized.
Yeah,
Like I have any task that you need to do within my business, there's a document or video on it. So
beautiful.
they need to figure out how to, let's say that Copper. So they need to figure out how to upload a prospect into Copper and navigate it. I have a
Hmm.
whole SOP on step by step with a video and everything like that. That they can you get a link and you read it. You can do the whole thing without asking a single question about how to do it. Everything is A to Z on that sheet. And the funny thing is, I had one of my babysitter who was watching my kids for the longest time. She was watching the kids, but also she was doing this. So she actually helped me my whole SOP library, which is thousands of hours of her
Hmm.
time. She did it all, and she started when she was like 15, and now she still works with me to this day, and she's in her third year of college. So she
Awesome.
just does that all that for me, and she's like, when she graduate college, I'll be bringing her on in a pretty high role because she knows the ins and outs of my business, and the SOPs are so important.
Oh, for sure. Standard operating procedures for those that don't know it. It's super important to document all your processes when you're running an agency. And if you want to go out there and try a virtual assistant for yourself, I like online jobs ph. Go to dustinhouse.com/VA and take a look at where I get my VA. And it is a super easy platform for you to go out there and check out and find the right virtual assistant for the work that you want to get
It's
done.
funny because I used that one at one point.
Yeah.
I have a virtual assistant who I don't really I consider her like part of my company. She's been with me for
Hmm.
3.5 years now. So and yeah, that's where I found her originally is on that website, and she's
Beautiful.
phenomenal. So it's like you're looking for good people. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And what happens is virtual assistants that are good will have other virtual assistants that they know and they can bring on that make really good
Yep.
employees as well. So that's a great place to start. when you need the help. Let's switch gears a little bit and go to affiliate partnership tactics. Like, what's been working for you out there lately?
So since we got everything organized and systematized, the whole business is so much easier. But in terms of like the partnerships piece, um, no matter who's doing the recruiting or the activation or the management of the account, yeah, you have to be completely organized, or else it could just fall apart on you. And in terms of like the tactics that have been working, um, we have someone that does just like research for potential new affiliates.
Hmm.
So like some people have like the account manager that does the reporting and the research and then the outreach and all that stuff. I found that that's okay. That's what I did with Gino. I did all that.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
worked, but it limits what you can and can't do. So we have the team that does just the research, and they can do a lot more at scale, and
Yeah.
then bring it back to the account team, and they can reach out in a more customized way. So instead of the account person wasting their time finding them, we have somebody finding
Right.
them for them, and that's all saved hundreds of hours of time just in that. And um, to think that people are still doing it the other way is kind of crazy to me. But again, if it works for them, it works. It's one of those things that until you try it, you don't realize how efficient it really is.
Right. And that's that natural progression of like running your own agency is developing that partner development team that's going to go out and do that legwork early on so that you can tap into that relationship when you get the right client with the right fit for those partners. Super smart. Love the organizational aspects of that. Any kind of tools outside? You said Copper. Anything in the recruitment sector that you think is working right now for you?
I wish I could say yes, but I haven't found a tool that I've actually enjoyed using that's good enough for me to justify the cost.
Right.
That's
Right.
the issue. Is these tools that in theory they're good, but a lot of them are just for me they just don't do what I need it to do. And like maybe one day I'll create one that does everything I wanted to do. But until then, like
Yeah.
there's like you know I'm not going to put anyone on blast. I'm not going to even do it. I don't want to do it. Like I'll just keep it at that. So I just wish there was a tool that had everything that I desired. And I can tell you right now, there's other affiliate managers out there that want the same thing. They just want some good solid tool that is not ridiculously expensive either.
Sure. Sure. I mean, there are some great tools out there. SimilarWeb comes to mind, which is starting to build out a really impressive tool for affiliate managers, but the cost of it is just way too much. It's out of my price range. Like I'm not going to pay for something like that. And so true. Like I'm looking for a really solid solution that works for all verticals and niches, and is an affordable price point for an agency. But that kind of thing, it doesn't exist. Nothing's perfect out there, right?
No, and I found the way that I'm doing it comparing to the cost of the tools, it's less. And to me
Hmm.
it's just as effective, or if not more, for what I need it for. So I'm doing it my way, and um, maybe one day I'll monetize the way I do it and help others. But and until then, until I find more time in my day, until we get more than 24 hours in a day, I don't think that's possible.
Awesome. Speaking of your way, like I know you went to Affiliate Summit. Tell me about your experience over at East.
I'm never going again. I'll be honest. Affiliate
Okay.
Summit, I'm never
Uh,
going to again. And I live 30 minutes away. You know, I'd rather get on a plane and fly to Vegas than go to New York.
Vegas is such a pleasure to go to, and I gave up on New York years ago. I'm just not going to do it again. But tell me you used your free PMA ticket though.
No, I didn't. I used it for West last year, but I
Okay.
paid for this one. I just I don't know. I don't want to get into like too much of the negative. I'm not really a negative person, but it's just really the people that I'm looking to talk to aren't there.
Okay.
That's just the bottom line. I'm looking to talk to a lot of brands and a lot of like e-com related brands and affiliates, and they just don't show up to East.
I completely agree with you. It's secondary of that conference. I love the brand that Affiliate Summit has created, and the networking at Affiliate Summit West is really incredible. I pack my entire calendar full when I'm over at West, but I'd never had that experience over at East. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, real quick. So the PI Live, they're becoming an alternative to Affiliate Summit. They're becoming more of a player, and you get a lot less of the. I don't know how to put it.
The CPA networks.
Yeah. I was going to say garbage, but CPA networks.
They work for some people.
Yeah. Just obviously not me, but yeah, there's none of that at PI Live. It's a lot more of if you're looking to grow an affiliate program as an e-com business and you're an e-com affiliate, that's probably the one you should look at because Matt Wood's doing good things over there.
Okay, awesome. I've heard that as well. Like we had a really good showing over. I'm part of the board at the PMA, and they got us free tickets over to PI Live as well, and it's quickly becoming one of those go-to spots for the folks in the PMA. And you get a free ticket. Like you buy your membership to the PMA for a couple $100, and then you get free tickets to all of these incredible conferences, and it pays for itself instantly when you use one of those tickets. So for those of you that are out there that don't know about the PMA, go to the PMA.org and go check it out. I've got a comment here. It says, I'm headed to CJU for the first time in September. Have you guys ever been? What should I expect? Great question.
I've never been to one. They don't let me in. They don't let me go.
Oh no, you don't have programs running on CJ.
Even when I did, they wouldn't let me in. So
yeah, it's kind of snooty. It is a hell of an event. Like I will tell you, like they do it right, but they bring in and hand select all the people that they're going to bring in. Congratulations for getting in there.
Oh yeah, you did something I couldn't do.
Amazing. But what should you expect? Everything's taken care of. You really don't need to leave the radius of a quarter mile and unlike Vegas, where you might have a hotel in a virtual like 6 miles away. Don't walk from hotel to hotel. It is a longer journey than you think in Vegas, but CJU it's a good time. There's a lot of great networking there, and it's very intimate in my experience. So have fun up there.
I found the Racketons Dealmaker and CJU are kind of the same class. They pick who they want to go, and I've not been able to get into either of them. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not a bad guy.
You got to get on their good side. I used to work for CJ. I don't get invited to CJU, so maybe it's all my proimpact.com propaganda that I've got spitting out all the time.
Your wife works here, so you can't be too negative about them, right?
I'm not negative about them. I'm a big supporter of what they're doing. Tell me about what you've got going on. Speaking of platforms, like you've got something that's comparing to Refersion, I hear.
Yeah, so I guess you think of Refersion and like Go Affiliate Pro, and then those types of applications. Yeah, we spent 1.5 years building one out, trying to figure out like we use a lot of platforms since we're an agency, so we see a lot. And a lot of what we like and what we don't like. So I decided to partner with a dev team, and now we built a Shopify affiliate app. It's called PMX, and it's live out there in the wild for Shopify only. But what it does is the main selling feature is the database of affiliates that we have. compared to a lot of these others. These are all basically Bearcats connections that we're moving into this SaaS platform, and the way that payments are made to affiliates. So a lot of these other non-networks, you got to like set up PayPal. You got to pay each one individually, and it's a big pain in the neck. So we have an integration where we have a couple clicks and you pay all your affiliates, and the affiliates get to choose how they want to get paid, whether they want to get an ACH, PayPal, they want to get gift cards, they want to give away to charity. So they get to choose, and it's all a couple clicks and it's all done. So that's the real selling feature. And if anyone wants to learn more, they can go to getpmx.com, and that's where everything is about the app. And I'd be happy to demo it for anyone. And if anyone's interested in actually bringing clients on, we're waiving the SaaS fees, like the monthly fees. We're just going to do a percentage of sales as well. So just because we want to get feedback and on the app and how it works and things like that. So we're waiving all the fees for a few months just to get some feedback. And it's so far so good. It's really going well. We're getting a lot of feedback. We got like 17 brands on it already. So it's going really well.
And I assume you're taking your database of affiliates that you've been working with through the years and getting them on board so that the merchants that come on board can access some of those, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's the whole point. Is we have a simple hit the profile, view who the affiliate is. You can invite them to join from there. The affiliate gets an email, accept or reject, and then the partnerships form. That's simply we try to make it as simple as possible. Like because a lot of these other platforms, you either gotta jump through hoops and do a multiple. You have to integrate your inbox, all that stuff. Oh, that's another thing. The way you can communicate with these affiliates directly through the app. You don't have to hook up email addresses and all that stuff. You just send a message through it. So you think of a share site. You know how you send like the newsletter and you send it to everybody. You can send it to the whole list, individuals, and it just goes right through the platform to their email, and they reply back. So it's really it really cuts out a lot of the extra noise.
Yeah. Well, I love that you're moving forward with the industry. Impact recently started doing that same kind of thing of like messaging partners through the platform, but it's still glitchy. It's still in its infancy, and I like that you're building that in because that's an important part of it. Like if you don't have to leave the platform to manage the relationships, that's super clutch. Like, and I love how you've got the payout forms. That's usually the biggest pain point for using a third-party solution that's not like a major network. And the payouts just suck. Like doing all of the tax paperwork is really brutal on a Post Affiliate Pro and things like that, where you need to get a Tapalti integration of some sort to make that life easier. So I love to hear that you're doing that. Getpmx.com, go check it out there.
Yes, because we're not a bank. Like we're not like ShareSale and all those guys. They handle the payouts and all that stuff. We just we don't want to get involved in that because it's just opportunities for exposure that we don't want. So we have an integration that works really well.
Awesome. Anna Marie says, don't want to see like a hater, but this already for years.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what that means, but
I'm not quite sure. Maybe she's talking about the technology. It's been around for years. It might be, but everything's getting better these days as SaaS gets better. I'm looking forward to checking out your platform and bringing on a client in the future. So moving on, like as we close out here, I want you to defend your post here. I saw something on LinkedIn. Sarah Bunny made a comment about using ChatGPT and explaining to her 5-year-old about what it is. And then you made a comment like, I think I'll use this to explain this to my wife. Now, defend your post here, Rick.
So I think her post was about like explaining to like a 5-year-old, I believe it was, or something like that, or explain how you do what you do. For years, I couldn't explain what I do. I still have a hard time, even in the simplest terms. It's tough. But I actually did use ChatGPT to say explain this in like to like a sixth grader or something like that, and it was talking about how like with toys and how they um, trade toys with their friends in exchange for a commission. So it's like it made it so simple that anybody can understand it, and I don't think my wife even still understands it because
Yeah.
she's not business oriented like that. Like she's a nurse, so she's like medical and things like that. So she doesn't really. I don't think she even cares. But but yeah, my whole thing is like just trying to make things simple, even for clients when I'm talking to them on like a prospect. I don't get fancy with words. Like what's that going to do? It's just going to confuse them. So I keep it as simple as possible, and um, that usually is the best bet. I never have anyone ask me what I'm talking about or anything when I do that.
I love
In
it.
the grand scheme of things, if you want to keep things simple, explain to your wife things. Just make it as childish as you can. That's the way I can explain it.
I'm lucky to not have to explain it. My wife knows just as much, if not more, about affiliate marketing than I do. So, on the flip side of that, like a lot of our dinner conversations might turn into that kind of talking about the industry, which can be tough. But I enjoy it. We're having a great time being that power couple. So, well, Rick, I'm going to wrap this up. Really appreciate all of your insight here today. Thanks for being with us. My guests next week are going to be Mike Curry and David Zarin. So stop in on Tuesday and Thursday for that. If you would like to be a guest of mine and take this hot seat where Rick is today, go to dustinhouse.com/nerd, or you can hit this QR code up here and submit your application. And lastly, if you would like 15 minutes of my time for free, go to dustinhouse.com/explore. I will talk about affiliate to just about anybody that wants to come in and hang out, and I will point you in the right direction if I'm not the right person to help you out. So, Rick, really appreciate your time. Thanks for being here. And any parting words for the audience here?
No, I'm good. I probably said too much. I don't even remember what I said, so I'm sure it's something stupid that I'll regret.
Oh, I'll make sure to make a clip of that and send it to your wife.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it won't be the first time I say something stupid. So,
all right. Appreciate you, Rick.
thanks, Justin.
Good luck out there. Keep on
I
recruiting.
appreciate it.
Take care.